In today's episode of the Platform Presents podcast, I got a very interesting guest here with me today. I'm with Andy Karuza, and he's hailing over from the team over at NachNacho. And NachNacho is a single platform to basically discover, save, and basically manage all your SaaS that you're leveraging for your organization. I'm very pleased to have Andy on the show to really deep dive on the use case of NachNacho and also how he's thinking about growth for the company. So welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me today. And great pitch, actually, by the way. You stole it right out of my mouth.
There you go. I mean, to be honest, we had a look at the website as well, and you guys get a very clear messaging on the page. So it's it's very helpful to understand it very clearly. So yeah, but give us an overview. How do you think about NachNacho in your own words?
Yeah, so for us, NachNacho came about because the problem with SaaS sprawl, which is as organizations are growing, especially SMBs and startups, which in particular we like to help out, are growing and adding team members, adding more subscriptions and tools to help grow their business. It becomes very discoordinated internally. So you might have multiple subscriptions going on. You might have team members that leave the team and an open subscription going for them. You might have free trials that convert into paid trials without even knowing about it. So as companies have grown, this problem of SaaS sprawl has become a bigger issue. And so where we really saw the opportunity was to create a solution, a one-stop shop, if you will, where customers, any business buyer can come and discover the next best SaaS tools. They could get discounts and juicy savings on those particular products. And then they can manage all those subscriptions in one place, including adding new team members, tracking all their transactions in one place, and canceling subscriptions if they need to.
Very good. That makes a whole lot of sense. Now, you mentioned already startups, SMBs are the main use case. Is there a certain size, a certain scale, from where it becomes really helpful? Or is it, maybe tell us like what type of organization fits the best essentially to NachNacho?
Yeah, so we like companies that are up to and around 1,000 employees, but they could be in a couple hundred range. We've even done solopreneurs. We've helped them out as well. The ideal ICP for us is a company that's a high tech, high growth company that's either done their seed funding or they've done their Series A funding. They're adding team members to their team really quickly. And for these smaller companies, as I always say, it's death by 1,000 financial cuts, which really gets a lot of these companies in a bad place financially. And so that's where we feel like is an ideal audience where we could really help them, where a $50 subscription a month, or maybe a $10 subscription per month, even multiplied out across 50 or 100 employees, might not seem much like for a one subscription, but when you multiply that out, it becomes really expensive for them. So for this particular customer, we can give them immediate savings to make a direct impacts on their financial bottom line for their company. But we also give them the power and the tools to have that visibility into how they're spending with a complete spend management solution that we have built into the entire on the back end of the entire marketplace experience that we have, which you'll see on our website.
Yep, that makes a whole lot of sense. Now, what would you say? How do these teams, learn about you guys? I mean, having the problem is one thing. Knowing that NachNacho is there is another. Like, how do they learn and find you guys?
Yeah, so we, some people come to us for the spend management solution. They realize that there's a problem with managing the amount of money they're spending on subscriptions, and they want to get a tool in place that helps them manage that. We have another type of customer too, which is more top of funnel, which comes in to discover software and ask questions about it, and maybe find a particular tool that might solve the problem they have. Say, for instance, you come to our marketplace, you might be looking for a lead gen tool because the problem your business has today is that you need more leads, right? Everybody does. So you come to our marketplace and you could find that category, and you might pick out, say, Phantom Buster. And from there, you can get, a discount on Phantom Buster. I believe it's around 20%, but don't quote me on it. All the deals on our platform range from, usually 15 to 40% cash back for the customer. A lot of them kind of lay around the 30% range. So you come to our platform, you discover new products that you need for your business. You get that subscription through us, through a virtual card that we can issue on the back end, which gives you full control over the subscription. You can issue it to individual team members. You can cancel it with one click. And then you can manage all that from the spend management solution that we have built into the back end. So a lot of people come for the discounts, finding the tools that they need, and then they stick around to use the spend management tools and build their entire tech stack from there.
Now, how how do you think about basically the role of the website? Actually, you mentioned in the pre-chat that you just did a new brush to the website in itself, but what role do you think it plays in the buyer's journey?
The website's really important. I mean, your website's always like your place to tell your brand story and what you really stand for. And I think this new website overhaul does a really good job at that, which is great because, relatively speaking, we're kind of a three-headed horse. We have a couple different products that we really wrapped into one intuitive one-stop shop. So it's very important that we clearly communicate that to the customer. But kind of the crown jewel of the front end of the website that you'll see is the marketplace. It's a place where you can discover the best SaaS products and it can get discounts on them. And then on the back end, with the app, after you become a confirmed buyer through our exclusive community of B2B SaaS buyers, you could get access to any of these deals at any time through the marketplace and then manage them all on the back end. But on the front end, what you're going to see is the SaaS marketplace and all the great deals that we have with more products being added daily.
Now, with the refresh of the website, obviously you've been involved in many websites prior. You've been in interesting marketing roles. So, what have you learned over the years? What's important when it comes to actually driving signups and driving conversions on the website? Is there any approaches, methods, tools that you've figured out over years that work really well?
Yeah, I love that question because a lot of people ask if there's like a magic bullet, and the magic bullet's really, people and their expectations. At the end of the day, marketing is really about, communication and creating a better experience for people, in my opinion. Whether the way you design a product or the way you communicate your message to the right person that actually cares about what you're doing and, has that problem that, hopefully that you can solve. So there's always going to be a variety of tools, many of which that we carry in our marketplace, which is really neat. We get to learn about the coolest new things coming out, and we could try them ourselves and help our own marketing efforts as well. But never forget in marketing, it always comes down to understanding who your customer is and what they're expected. What is their expectation when they come to your website? They don't know anything about you. Do you clearly explain your value proposition? Then from an onboarding experience, do you walk people through it without creating a bunch of friction? So do you make it as easy as possible for people to get what you do, want what you do, and then be able to get on board and start engaging with your product right away? So I believe UX is very important for that, for converting people, and you need to look at it from the entire way in. So, what is my ideal customer going to expect when they get to our website? Do we present that information properly to them? Do we entice them enough to want to get to know more? And in that onboarding experience, does it align with their expectations for what we know about that person? Putting ourselves in their shoes rather than just trying to, from the inside out, try to tell people how things should be done. It's really the other way around, and that's one of the core tenets for a company. We have a very outside-in approach, so we like to think of ourselves, putting ourselves in the seller's shoes to do a better job helping them find customers. We like to put ourselves in the buyer's shoes to better understand where they're coming from and how we could better serve their needs too. And that's this website and everything that we're doing is a culmination of that, and it's going to continue to improve, right? I mean, you're never done working. So
very good. Now I would like to switch gears a little bit and talk with you about your role as a marketer. First thing I'm curious about, sort of, what are the types of projects, the types of things that you are involved in as a marketer? I'm sure there's a lot of things that you have to balance at the same time. Maybe give us a glimpse into your daily work.
Yeah, I mean, startups have been something that I've been involved with for 15 years now. So I love startups. I love the fast-moving environment. You tend to work more hours than you do at like a large company, which is boring to me. So I'd rather work more hours on a cool, compelling product, a cool, compelling vision, and really make a difference, right? So in the early stage of any company, like a really interesting company, you might see a big market opportunity for it. They might have 8 out of 10 things right, but it's figuring out those last 2 pieces that really can get you to that high growth stage where 5 years down the line, everybody says, of course I know about that company, but it's the work that we do today that really makes a difference to get us to that place 5 years down the line, which is where we have our vision set for right now. And then of course beyond. But yeah, my daily activities revolve around new promotional opportunities, brand experience. So the new website you have, some of the other promotions we're doing with business cards. We're going to be doing a really interesting thing where we hand out, credit card looking things to mimic the virtual cards that we have on the site, which are actually worth real money that you could get if you become an approved buyer on our platform. So a lot of interesting strategies like that. Always, working with sellers, trying to help cross promote them and get the word out about them. So we're doing a lot of content marketing because, the partnership with the sellers is really key for us. We really see it as a symbiotic relationship. So I do spend a lot of time with them doing a lot of cross promotional activities too. But yeah, that's pretty much my day to day. So, last night I was even working with the CTO on new website updates. So, we're very cross functional over here. So that's another fun part about the job, that I get to work with the design team, the engineering team, and of course my growth marketing team, and make sure everything's moving in the right direction. Myself in particular, I have a lot of a broad experience in marketing. So I've done the branding stuff, I've done advertising, I've even built technical products myself. So, or at least managed teams that would build that, both in the hardware IoT space, the mobile app space, websites, and web apps as well too. So I have a lot of cross-functional experience from my many years of wearing many hats as an entrepreneur.
Very good. Now I got some rapid fire questions to wrap it up for today. Are you ready for those?
Yeah, shoot.
What's the last book that you read?
Oh man. Sometimes I reread books just because there's these gold nuggets in there. You always love to just, remind yourself of. Hooked by Nir Eyal. I think I'm saying that right. So, right now, as we're improving some of the UX for the product, especially on the app side, I love just revisiting that book, and just, puts you in the customer mindset when you're designing products. So that's the book that I just recently read.
What's the one single thing that your company is focused on the most at the moment?
Well, being a two-sided marketplace, we're doing the best we can to serve both the seller's interests and the buyer's interests. And the better we do that, the more we can harmonize the subscription economy, which is the goal for this company. So, what we do for sellers has to benefit the buyers, and vice versa. And that's what we do on a daily basis to stay true to our vision.
If there would be no boundaries in tech, what would be the one thing that you would do in order to fix for your role as a marketer? Like, you have a magic wand, what's the one thing you would fix as a marketer for your role?
Always improving the experience. Like a lot of marketers just think it's, spending more ads, scale, but you can't really scale something that's not perfected yet. And so I think really doubling down on the customer experience and really understanding our customers more and more every day. And everything that we put out, like, does that serve our customers and the sellers that we have? So that's every day. That's the ongoing, focus for us.
Very cool. And the very last question would be, if today would be your very first day, right, joining NachNacho, what's the one advice that you would give yourself?
Shoot, hindsight is 2020. So let's see that advice I would give today. I don't know. I feel like I really just kind of jumped in, and sometimes, I always like to say a true wise man knows that he knows nothing. So, there's a lot of things I've learned in this role as well as anything else I've done before. So, I think, keeping that mindset in place. So, every day there's a new challenge, and, I just got to stay true to that, right? We never know everything, and we're never going to have everything figured out. So now if we keep our focus on trying to improve everything that we do on a daily basis, I think we're going to get to where we're going.
And I think that was very, very wise, actually, in itself. So appreciate that. Thanks a lot for being on the show with us today. I want to give you the very last word. If somebody would be forgetting all that we discussed about NachNacho, what's the one thing that they should remember?
Well, NachNacho is a great place for you to come manage, discover, and save on SaaS. So if you're a business out there that's struggling to find the right tools to help grow your business, we've got them. We've got discounts on them. And we give you the power and tools to manage all of your subscriptions in one place and ensure that you're not overspending on your SaaS, and you have full control of the financial side of your business.
Thanks a lot for being a guest on Pathon Presents.
Great. Thank you so much.